brought on the adventure ever since. So he's been some places, and it's kind of cool to see the flavor change over time. You definitely notice that. Yeah, and I often forget to include bread in a fermentation when I'm thinking about it, because it's just always in bread. We also have some house-made butter there. This is made with shio koji. If we're not familiar, koji is rice that's been inoculated with a specific mold. Used a lot in Asian cooking, Japanese. It's the rice that's used to make sake and mirin and soy sauce and misos and all those things. So using that as the starter culture to thicken the cream to make the butter. And last but not least, we have a lovely smoky blue from Road Creamery Brew here. And if you're not familiar, they do make the best cheese in the world, or at least a lot of them. So, Tom here. I don't know if you want to talk about this again, but so I didn't obviously make the cheese, but he had a big part in it, so if you don't like it, that's
This is Common Blog's Roadrunner, which is their flagship beer. It is an Indian Pale Ale. And we decided to go with this beer, one, because it's their most standout beer, and we really wanted to showcase the Rogue Valley and what stands out the most here, and particularly with Fermentopia. But we also thought it was a good beer that balanced with the fattiness of the pork, and so we're excited to have that nice bright citrus. Like when I tried it, I really tasted nectarines, I tasted the brightness of the hops. I thought it was a really clean drink, and with all the things that Carl has going on with this dish, I thought it was a really nice compliment. And Carl's about to talk about the dish in a little bit more in depth of what his part paired well with the beer itself.
awesome. So this is our second course. This is Meishan pork belly. Meishan is a highly praised or highly sought after breed made in China. It's like the equivalent of Wagyu for pigs over there, if you're familiar. So this is pretty cool that they're getting raised right here in the valley at Firebird Farms. Been cured in, or brined, I guess, in fermented peach and tomato juice, some shio koji. Then cooked in the brine, and then just seared till it's crispy, and reduce that brine to make the sauce on the bottom. Made a glaze out of some kombucha here for a little sweetness. So there's quite a bit going on in this, and it doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot of flavors happening. And with the beer, it should be pretty interesting because of the hoppiness and the bitterness. There's a lot of sweet, kind of acidic in the dish, which should balance with that. And then it's beer and bacon, so I mean, little candy cherry tomatoes as well for a little more sweetness. Enjoy, guys.
I have decided to pair a pear cider that is locally fermented. It is actually Blossom Barn, which is based out of kind of by the Applegate over in Grants Pass area. His tap room is absolutely gorgeous, and all of his ciders are just as beautiful. And I decided to use his award-winning pear cider that has been aged in an old Chardonnay barrel. And I just thought it had the most delightful lightness to it. It's refreshing, it's not too sweet. It has a lot of brightness, but then also you get that smokiness and that unique flavor profile that really shines through that you don't get to taste in everyday ciders. I thought it was a really unique flavor, and I really wanted to showcase one of my favorite local ciders here in the valley. And we think it's going to pair perfectly with this dish.
Yes, so this is rabbit capitelli. This is local rabbit from Arnie and Sons up in Arnie and Sons up in Grants Pass. This rabbit's been raised in a winter squash tapache. Tapache, if you're not familiar, typically made out of the pineapple rind. It's kind of the way you use up these parts that you don't use. It's just the pineapple rinds you let sit in sugar water, and it starts to ferment. It brings on the pineapple flavor from the skin. So it did the same thing, just with like pumpkin and butter and squash to sort of bring out the fall. Raised the legs in that, and then reduced it to make the sauce with a little bit of rabbit stock, a little bit of butter, and then there is some confit garlic on top, which, if those aren't familiar, garlic is it's a Dan Barber, who's a super famous chef out on the East Coast. He has his own seed company now, but it's a garlic and leek hybrid. And I believe it won Person of the Year for Time of People magazine a few years ago. So I don't know how Leslie wins that, but it was on the film.
Elected one.
So yeah, it should go really good with the cider. I think this is going to be an awesome pair. Enjoy, guys.
Here at Fermentopia, and if got a little bit of fun, brightness, something a little more whimsy would be a fun course to do. And this was actually Chef Carl's idea, and I thought it was a fun, really cool concept. But he can talk a little bit more about the pairing and why exactly the yuzu goes so nice with the dish.
We're still not buying this as a sake.
There's a lot to say about this, so please eat while I talk because
We'll get cold.
so this is we're going to start with the fish. This is sturgeon. This is farm raised in Fort Simon at Royal Oregon Sturgeon Company. Through some research, I found out sturgeon is like the most endangered species like ever. Like it is the most endangered. Yeah, because it takes 6 to 8 years. 8 to 25 years in the wild to reach maturity, like reproductive levels of maturity. And sturgeons also eat caviar, so you wait 25 years to have babies and then take the eggs for caviar. But anyway, this is farm raised sustainably out in Fort Klamath. It takes 2 years to get these fish to market size. They're incredibly slow growing, huge commitment, 8-year commitment to get caviar out of them. And it's just a crazy process that not many people take the time to do. And so, because this farm's here and doing it, there's actually a ton of colleges, biology programs that are coming out to study because he has the largest collection of accessible sturgeon. So it's really cool. So it takes 2 years to raise it to size, and then I was talking to Daryl, the owner, farmer. Yeah, you know, I think I'm going to put it on the menu. He's like, well, I need 3 weeks. I was like, what do you mean? You've had 2 years to do this fish. And so before he puts them to market, he puts them in a cold tank for about 3 weeks, like 33, 34 degree tank, which basically hibernates them, and they don't eat, so they clean themselves, kind of purge themselves in this tank. And because it's consistently cycled water when they come out, it's just beautifully layered, beautifully delicate, just an amazing fish that, after seeing how much work it takes to put into it, really appreciated. And so naturally, I decided to make it last a little bit longer, the process take a little longer. So we aged it in beeswax. So we took the fillets, froze them just so the outside's a little frozen, dipped them in warm beeswax, and let it sit. Similar, I'm sure we've heard of dry aging for beef and stuff. Can't really do that for fish. It goes bad too quickly. So what the beeswax does is it creates a breathable barrier that allows moisture and a little bit of evaporation out, but nothing keeps all the bad stuff away. So that affects the texture a little bit, firms it up just a little bit, intensifies the flavor a little bit. And if you get any like hints of vanilla or floral in that, that's from the beeswax, which is was unintentional, but I definitely noticed that. So yeah, super cool, just super cool product to be able to use, and to have an hour and a half away is amazing. Sauce on top is a beurre blanc from took the bones, well, cartilage, they don't have bones, but made a fillet, used that to make a beurre blanc, and just kind of dress the fish with that. On the side, the little like croquette thing, this is fermented wheatberry and smoked shiitake. So this is kind of as like nice and delicate and neutral as the fish is. This is like dirty, earthy, ferment, complete opposite side. So kind of a fun juxtaposition. Last is the yellow sauce. This is really fun. This is sea buckthorn curd. So sea buckthorns, to me they taste like passion fruit. Super tropical, super acid, kind of great way again to balance the fish. We went with sake because sake is typically pretty neutral as far as flavor. It's also, I think, probably not very common for most people. We went with this one because it's very approachable. I mean, it's kind of hard not to drink it all the way, in my opinion. But, you know, citrus and fish go great. And then, again, just like the ferment style of sake lends itself to, you know, food as you pick up those umami flavors from the rice. And I don't know, this dish is, this is a special dish, but it's not too often I come up with something like this. So this is really cool. I'm really glad you guys got to try it, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Good job. So I don't have a whole lot to say about this course besides the fact that I think it's going to be the most delicious because who doesn't love a little bit of chocolate and wine and cheese? And I'm definitely no wine expert, but luckily we do have a wine expert in tonight, and then we also have Carl who is also going to be talking about the pairing. So I'm just going to pass it off to Carl.
So we're going to start with the dessert. This is blue cheese and dark chocolate, and this has got a story behind it. If you've ever been to the cheese shop in Central Point, at least they used to what Lily Bell was there, the blue cheese chocolate truffles.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, the first time I was there, I was like, no way this is good. There's no way. Like this, and so of course I bought a couple and then decided that, oh wait, it's awesome. So this is actually my last of the Lily Bell chocolate. I was able to get some. So this is single origin Tanzanian chocolate from Lily Bell. We have some Rogue River Blue that I'm sure Tom has a few words he'd love to say about. And then on the sauce on the side is a little red wine lees and honey that have been allowed to, I don't know if they've fermented again or aged together or whatever, but yeah, cheese, chocolate, wine, all three of which are involved in our fermentations involved. So kind of a really cool way, sweet, savory, cool way to end. We're ending with a Madeira, which is a fortified wine. Solera system, right? It's Casita sherry. Yeah, so it's a really crazy, they call it the floor, but it's like the yeast sits on the top in the barrel, floats on the top, and it's about like 2 or 3, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches thick. And then there's this process of like moving barrels and all this. It's a process, but you get this funky kind of like dried fruit, like nut toasty, fortified wine afterwards. And it should go really good with everything. So, Tom, you want to jump in and talk about because this is the special. This is special Rogue River.
It's a very special blue cheese and chocolate pairing. Voodoo and Jeff, the magician, the mad hippie shepherd at Lily Bell, years ago took Smoky Blue, and this is a little bit more challenging with dark chocolate and blue cheese. He went milk chocolate because he's dealing with dairy. But this is incredible. And so, just so you know, after today, there's a small army of chocolate people that have been given blue cheese and sent out to their research laboratories. And so we're trying, and I'm going to contact Jeff to see if he's going to charge me anything. A new version, a new incarnation of that little truffle ball. It was so addictive and weird, and watched little children change their expression for years. I have always been a person who says Rogue River Blue should just be served by itself. It's a cheese that we put so much effort into, and it develops such a complex character over the course of a year, but more because we pick every single leaf and wrap every single wheel. It costs way more money than you're used to paying for regular cheese. Why would you put that on a salad, or why would you put that with anything? I was sharing a woman today who said, I said, how do you enjoy serving it? She said, by the light of my refrigerator door. So, to take it and like boldly just dive in the kitchen and say, we're going to mix it with other stuff. Bravo.
So this is the newest vintage.
2025. So this was made during the fall of 2024. And it's the milk from our autumnal milk at our farm in Grants Pass. So it's our favorite time of year for cheese milk, which means high protein, high fat, and high flavor. And so we've had enough rain back and the temperature's cooled down. The cows are dancing in the pasture right now because they have been cooped up all summer. So 2025, we call it that, but that means it was made virtually 9 to 12 months ago. Thanks for coming.